Sometimes life changes everything in just one moment, and that moment always comes suddenly when you are completely unprepared. The same happened to me. At 3 o'clock in the night, my phone rang, and it was my father. His voice was trembling. "Emily, your building is burning. I hope you had it insured." But at that time, I just laughed. Yes, I laughed because what I knew was a secret that would shock the world. My name is Emily Parker. I am 25 years old, and I live in New York City. I was just an ordinary girl. I went to college, worked a job, dreamed dreams, and then suddenly everything began to scatter apart. There was always one thing missing in my life: stability. My father, David, was a strict man. He always used to say, "Never take shortcuts in life. Work hard, choose the right path, otherwise you will suffer losses." But I chose a shortcut, and that very shortcut pushed me into such darkness that it took me years to come out of it. After graduating from college, my dream was to start my own business. But doing business in New York is no joke. The rent was sky high, and my savings were very little. It was then that I met Michael Harris. Michael was the smartest boy in my class, always dressed neatly, always spoke with confidence, and everyone thought he was the perfect gentleman. When he said to me, "Emily, you have the brains, I have the capital. If we both do business together, we can shake the world," I felt like this was the opportunity one had always dreamed of. We took a small rental office, and through one of my father's old friends, the rent of the building got reduced. The business slowly started running. Michael appeared to work day and night, or at least that is what I thought. But after a few months, strange incidents began to happen: shortages in the accounts, mistakes in invoices, clients' checks bouncing. Every time I asked Michael, "What is going on?" he would smile and say, "Relax, Emily, in big businesses, ups and downs keep happening." And I would believe him because I had blind faith in him. Then one day, my biggest fear turned into reality. I went to the bank and found out that there were only $500 left in our business account. Everything else had vanished. I went home and demanded answers from Michael. He looked me straight in the eyes and said, "Emily, this is all part of business. Sometimes we win, sometimes we lose." But in his eyes, there was something else: lies, deceit. My heart broke. To find the truth, I stayed up nights tracing his accounts. And what I discovered shook my whole world. Michael had thrown away all our investments into his gambling addiction. Yes, he was a gambler, and I was just a foolish girl who trusted him. That night I decided that this game was over, but I did not realize that the real storm was yet to come. The fire that burned down my building was actually set by Michael himself. And that night became the most terrifying yet powerful turning point of my life. At 3 o'clock that night, my father's voice was echoing in my ears. "Emily, your building is burning. I hope you had it insured." I ran to the window. The streets of New York were deserted, but far away, red light was spreading in the sky. Smoke was tearing through the sky. That very building in which my dream was alive was now burning. My heart was pounding so hard, as if it would burst out. I put on my jacket and immediately took a taxi. The whole way I had only one thought: how did all this happen? When I reached there, chaos was everywhere: fire trucks, police, people screaming, someone making videos on their phone. My heart sank when I saw that my office, the little office where I had poured my life, was turning into ashes. The ground slipped beneath my feet. Darkness covered my eyes. I sat down on the street and just cried. Michael was also standing there, but there was a strange calmness on his face. No panic, no anger, no worry. I looked at him, and a strange suspicion rose in my heart. Did he do all this? But the next moment he held my shoulder and said, "Emily, don't worry. Insurance will cover everything." His words matched my father's. "Hope you're insured." But there was a secret that only I knew. I had never done the insurance at all. Then why was Michael so sure? That night I went to my room and stood in front of the mirror and asked myself, "Emily, why did you let all this happen? Why did you trust him?" My dream, my money, my honor, everything had turned into ashes. And the person I trusted the most turned out to be my biggest enemy. 2 days later, the police investigation began. That fire was not caused by an electrical short circuit. It was arson. Someone had set it on purpose. I was looking at the debris of my unit on the third floor when I found a piece of paper. It was half burnt, and it had Michael's handwriting on it, insurance forms. My hands started trembling. Michael had planned all of this beforehand. I could have gone straight to the police and told them everything, but I was scared. Michael was smart, his connections were strong. He could prove me a liar. And the biggest fear was that I had always told my father, "Dad, I can handle everything." If the truth came out, he would say, "I told you, never take shortcuts in life." But deep inside, I knew this was only the beginning. Michael had set fire to my life, and now the time had come for me to turn his world into ashes. I had made up my mind. This battle would now be fought openly. But taking revenge was not easy. Michael had money, connections, and power. I had only one thing, the truth. And sometimes, truth becomes the greatest weapon of all.